Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone to the final episode of the journey to the Quran in this Ramadan. Hope everyone is well. Now, we were meant to have Ustad Jamal Abdi Nasir, but unfortunately his grandmother passed away yesterday. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May Allah have mercy upon her soul. May Allah grant her Jannatul Firdaus. She passed away in such a blessed month. May Allah bless us for the same. So the replacement we have today, I couldn't have got a better replacement. He is a Hafiz. He is also an Alim, a graduate of Darul Berry. He is the Imam at Nurul Islam Masjid in Leighton, and he is none other than Maulana Ebrahim Surti. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. How are you?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hafiz, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. How's your Ramadan going this year?
Alhamdulillah is going excellent. Ramadan is going excellent. Yeah, which is the best Ramadan ever, you know. This is the best Ramadan. A lot of ibadah done in this month of Ramadan. We get to be at home and just, you know, be with the family. Alhamdulillah, it's going excellent.
Alhamdulillah. How is the family anyway?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Is your dua? Alhamdulillah, yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Can see you at the masjid, mashallah.
Yes, that's why. Sorry for the delay. You know, I had to wait for the brothers to go, unless you wanted everyone to be here, and you know, it's going to be a broadcast with everybody. But I thought let everyone go, and then we can start this, inshallah. So sorry for the delay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Before we start, for brothers and sisters who are watching, this may be the final episode of the Quran, Journey to the Quran in this Ramadan. We have decided maybe to do a monthly thing for this thing. Let us know if that's a good idea, if you've enjoyed, if you benefited, and we'll try and do something like this monthly. Or there may be other things you want to do. You know, the work of Deen doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So it continues after the Ramadan. So let us know in the comments what kind of events would you like. Let us know, inshallah. Or you can let us know in the contact page on AlWaqi'ah website, AlWaqi'ah.co.uk. It's on the bottom of the screen now. Before we start, Mona Sab, I have a request. Can you recite for us?
Recite?
Yes.
Well, I got a good idea. I got a really good idea. Look, as far as I'm aware, there's been 5 episodes. This is the 5th one, and you have not recited.
I have. You the first one. The first one I recited.
Is it?
Yeah, with your mate, Qazi Ashkur Rahman.
So that's good. That's good. So you done the first one, and you finish on the last video. Bismillah.
You did it first, and then I'll do it.
Huh?
You start first, Mona Sab, then I'll do it.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you need to recite? I'm going to keep it short, inshallah.
Anything you like. Anything you like.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, that's beautiful. MashaAllah.
Is it my turn now?
Is it my turn now?
Bruv, you're going to give us a long Taraweeh version now.
I'll do something short.
Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. صدق الله العظيم. How was that?
That was some mad thing, you know. That is recitation. That is what you call recitation. So first, let's straight to the point, yeah. Who's asking the questions? Are you asking the questions? Or I'm asking the questions. I think this is the last episode. I think I should be asking all the questions so everyone can know about you.
You can ask me at the end, Monasa.
No. I think I should start now.
You are the main guest.
Chala, Bismillah. Let's start.
Bismillah. Okay. Before we get into it, brothers and sisters, if you do have any questions for Maulana Ibrahim Surti, we'll ask in the comments, and we've got one already. Who are his favorite reciters, Maulana?
I have a few reciters. I try to listen to Sheikh Juhaini. Even my students, my Hifz students, in my class, it's the only reciter you're allowed to listen to is Sheikh Juhaini.
Okay.
So after you finish your Hafiz, then you're independent now, and you can listen to whoever you want. But in the Hafiz, during your Hafiz period, or you becoming a Hafiz, and you have to listen to Sheikh Juhaini. I also like other like Qaris, for example, Qari Hindawi, Qari Shahad, Qari Basit. You know, it boosts you up. You know, when you listen to the Quran, you need a little boost in your life. You listen to Qari Hindawi, it gives you that boost, alhamdulillah. So everyone's advised to listen to Qari Hindawi. Type in Qari Hindawi on YouTube. I think the first video is Iqra Bismi Rabbika Alladhi Khalaq. You'll definitely understand what I'm talking about.
Alright, so the first question I have for you is, what interested you to become Hafiz? I mean, what was the reason?
Okay,
your story is quite interesting, and like when you started as well.
Okay. So, since I've been, small boy, alhamdulillah. So in my family, my brother, he became a Hafiz, my eldest brother, mashallah. So he used to lead Tarawih Salah, and every year we used to go with him, the family, and there was this masjid, it was about 20-minute drive from my house. We used to go there, and I used to see him recite Quran. I was like, I want to do that. But the only way you can do that, especially in the masjid, you have to recite the full Quran. So I'm thinking, oh no, I have to learn the whole Quran now. Similarly, I used to see many friends, in my teens, I used to see many of my friends, they used to become Hafiz. I used to think, this is excellent. And then this is what made me want to become Hafiz. I was looking, just looking up to certain people, and listening to certain Qur'an, listening to, when you go to the Haram, you listen to certain, I thought, this is so nice, and how nice would it be to learn the whole Qur'an, the entire Qur'an. So when I was around 11, 12, you won't believe this, Hafiz, but I actually started my Hifz.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Yes, I started my Hifz. What happened was, I used to mess about a lot. So I didn't get to do much paras at all, because I used to mess about so much. I used to get sent to the head teacher, and I'll be really honest with you, I was even kicked out. That's how much masti we used to do. So there's no harm in doing masti. When you're young, you do masti. Sheikh Yunus said that, rahmatullah alayhi, that if young boys if they don't mess about, then when will they mess about? So this is the time to mess about. When we were young, we used to mess about. And then I embarked to go to Darul Ulum Bari. I was told to go there. Now, when you won't believe this, Hafiz, this is serious stuff. It's a good story I'm telling you. So when I went to Darul Ulum for the interview, do you know what class I went to for interview?
Let me guess. Is that Hafiz Ali's house?
I went to Hafiz Ali's class.
Yeah, I knew it.
So I was in Hafiz Ali's class for, so he tested me, and he, he told me, inshallah, don't worry, you'll be in this class, and we'll look after you and whatnot. When I go back to London, now I was 16 years old, and many ulama, they asked me, are you intending to do alim class? I said, yes, inshallah, after Hafiz. And he said, what class? Or they said, many said that, what class did you go to? And I said, I'm pretty sure it was Hafiz Ali. I was told his name is Hafiz Ali. He said, Hafiz Ali. Oh, he's a fantastic teacher. However, your alim class will be delayed. So I thought, so what should I do? So many gave me this mashwara that don't do your hifz first and do your alim first. So that's what happened when I got to Darul Bari. It was written on, on my the interview letter that I actually done interview for Hifz al-Quran. And I requested, look, I want to go to alim class. So they put me in alim class. And alhamdulillah, I finished my alim course. And then day after, I went into Hafiz class. And that is another something else which motivated me, because during my 6 years, I saw many becoming Hafiz. We had, what's his name? That he was Muhammad Desai. MashaAllah, one of the episodes, I was there when he became Hafiz. He sat on the minbar. In fact, I remember when you sat on the minbar. Yes, MashaAllah. So I saw many people becoming Hafiz. I must have saw hundreds, literally hundreds in my 6 years. So I used to see these small kids, sometimes really small in year 7. And at that time, I was 16 and 17, I was 20, 21, 22. But alhamdulillah, I said, when I finish alim, I will do Hafiz al-Quran. Alhamdulillah, I left, so I graduated in 2012. And many of my classmates left. In fact, all of them left, with the exception of 4 or 5 who went into iftar class, and 3 of us who went into Hafiz class. And that's where I embarked on my journey, and that's where I completed, alhamdulillah, in a short while after that, alhamdulillah.
So looking back now, do you think that starting alim class was the right decision?
For my age, yes, it was. For my age, it was very good. And considering the strictness of Hafiz Ali, may Allah bless him, he has a usul, he has principles where you become a solid Hafiz. Like yourself, I've heard many things about you, mashallah, may Allah give you barakah. So, considering his layout and the way he teaches, it was better if I done Hafiz first, alim class first, and then I embark on this journey of Hifz al-Quran. Otherwise, it might have been delayed for 5, 6 years, and then it will lose my stamina in terms of staying in Darul Ulum. I would think this is enough now. I've been here for so many years. Let's go home now. So it was a good, alhamdulillah, it was a good, I did listen to the mashwara of the ulama. It wasn't for myself. I listened to the mashwara of ulama, and they said to do this, and alhamdulillah, it went really well.
So there may be brothers and sisters that are looking to do alim class as well as Hifz. So would you recommend that they start alim class or Hifz class?
No, if they have reached a certain age, so if they are going to secondary school, no, then they should do Hafiz first. And especially those parents who are watching and listening and who will be watching, their children, they should be put in Hafiz class as early as possible, because their minds are fresh. Yes, the moment they turn 11, 12, they have all sorts of distractions. So when they're in around 7, 8, 9, they should start Hafiz. Do a proper qaida first, and they know the tajweed, they know how to recite properly, which we'll discuss hopefully later on, and then bismillah, start Hafiz. But let's say they have reached 13, 14, 15, even that's still okay. But if they are reaching 16 now, then it's a good idea to do alim class, by having in their mind this pakka irada, this solid intention that they will do Hafiz. Because in my 6 years, I did not lose my motivation. And the motivation was there, the encouragement was there. People like you who finish Hafiz in front of me. So I sat there and I'm watching you on the minbar, completing your Hifz with your nice turban on, mashallah, and then everyone hugging you, and everyone's hugging you, and you're giving your kulfi out, you're giving your ice cream out, mashallah. I don't know if you gave me 2 or not, real talk. But I think I only got 1. And your dawah before the Jumu'ah Salah. So this is all part of the khatam, this is all part of the completion. It's something which motivates people to do Hifz. And I think, that would be my advice, and which is from the advice of the ulama, that if you have reached that age around 16, 17, it's never too late. Yes, it's never too late. And just to make one point, if you don't mind, is I have one really close cousin, and his name is Zafar. He's very small. He must be around 12 or 13 years old. Now, this little boy, we happened to go to this khatam. We went to this Bukhari completion ceremony. And after the ceremony, there was two boys who completed the Hifz al-Quran. They were really small boys. So I said to my cousin, I said, look, why don't you become Hafiz? And he said, oh, it's too late. I said, too late? How old are you? Like 50? He said, no, I am. I said, how old are you? And he said, I am 13 years old. I said, listen, do you know when I started my Hifz? And he said, oh, I don't know. I think it was at 9 years old. Oh, he must have been 10 years old. I said, no, I want you to have one last guess. When did I start my Hifz al-Quran? And he was unaware, and he did not know how. He's a little boy. He didn't know how to answer the question. So I said, I started my Hifz when I was 22 years old. 22 years old. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And he's just, his face was, it was just demonstrating shock. He was astonished that, wow, I didn't know that. So this is just a point before I forget, that it's never too late. Hafiz is never too late. This point, or this mentality that people have, especially the parents, or some parents think, oh, it's too late now. Oh, he's 16. Oh, he's 18 now. No, it's never too late. Yeah, even if you're 50 years old, it's never too late. I actually know someone who started Hifz al-Quran when he was 45 years old. 45 years old. It took him approximately 13 years. But mashallah, he finished. So he finished at the age of, I think, 58. So he started at 45, and he finished when he was 58. And he had a very big khatam, a very big completion ceremony. The big ulama came to congratulate him. So it's never too late. All those boys, and not just boys, even the girls. This is another wrong mentality, or some funny mentality people have, where the girls can't become hafiz. Like, Quran is not just for men. Quran is for men, women, it's for everyone. And Hifz al-Quran is not just for men, it's for women also. And many pious, from our pious predecessors, they were Hafiz al-Quran or Hafiz al-Quran. They memorized the entire Quran. So we should encourage young girls to become Hafiz, especially when they're very young. Start their Hafiz. Make them listen to Quran, and the Quran will automatically go in their mind, inshallah. They will memorize really quickly.
Yeah, and another point I want to start is not to compare yourselves with others, right? That's an important point.
Of course.
Because it does.
Have a little break.
No, because when you compare yourselves to others, it demotivates you, doesn't it? Like,
of course,
it's taken me so long to finish, and other people can finish in a year or 7 days. You just got to work hard, because your time is coming, inshallah. Your time is coming.
That is a fantastic point. Before we answer that question, seriously, that is a fantastic point. You elaborated on that point. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't compare. And what we mean by this is, look, sometimes, like you just mentioned, people think, oh, I've been doing Hifz for, and I've been doing this course for 5 years. I've only done 10 paras. No problem. There's no problem. 10 juz is a big thing. Some people think, oh, my friend, he done it in 2 years. Well, mashallah, good for him. Congratulations to him, Mubarak to him. May he have a happy life. We're not the same. You understand? We're not the same. People, our pious predecessors and our elders always say, "Bache, these are our 5 fingers. Are they the same?" No, they're all different. Similarly, human beings, they're different. Some ulama in the past, they actually finished Quran in 1 month. So that means that will demotivate everyone, because there was one pious, alim who happened to go prison, and he was in prison for a unjust reason, and the month of Ramadan came, there was no Hafiz al-Quran. So they thought, what's going to happen? So he took the initiative to start the Quran, and he memorized every day 1 juz every single day. He had such a mind, mashallah, such a solid memorization skill, mashallah, that he memorized 1 juz a day. Now, it doesn't mean everyone can do that. You understand? Not everyone can do that. And just to motivate those people who might be in this situation, oh, I've done so less juz, and it's been so many years, no problem. Don't let no one ever say anything to you that, oh, you've done so less. It's never, There was one great alim in the past, Allama Shah Kashmiri rahmatullah alayhi. I don't know if you've heard of him. Now they say about him that he memorized approximately 500,000 books. Did you hear that right?
Yeah.
500,000 books. He had a photographic memory. He can read just something, an entire page, and that will be committed to memory instantly. So, but you would be shocked that he was not a Hafiz al-Quran. He was not a Hafiz al-Quran. So the point is, look, we don't compare ourselves to people. If we're going to compare, then compare yourself with Allama Shah Kashmiri rahmatullah alayhi. He was not a Hafiz al-Quran, yet he learned and he memorized so many thousands and thousands of books. So we shouldn't look at just the amount that we have done. Yes, quantity is important and quality is important. Both important. However, we like to say quality is more important than quantity. Someone might know 25 juz, but he doesn't know the 25 juz at all. And someone knows 5 juz, but he knows it properly. This is better than knowing 25 juz and he doesn't know it. So don't worry, keep going inshallah. Keep going and make dua. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will make it easy for you. Allah will make it easy for you. And go to certain hakims, go to certain, these healing doctors, homeopathic doctors, and they will give you some remedies. For example, nuts. That's if you haven't got a allergy, right? Please, if you have an allergy, I will get arrested. I will get, in prison. Subhanallah, you'll sue me. So no, I don't mean for those people who have not allergies, but those people obviously who they don't have this nut allergy, have nuts, badam, the cashews, almonds. These are very good. Drink every night. Try to drink a glass of milk. This really helps. If your mom can grind the badam, the almonds, pistachio, if she can grind it for you, put it in the milk and drink it. But do it regularly. Try to do it every day. This will help you, and this will make your mind strong, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Beautiful advice. Which juz was the hardest to memorize? Ooh.
This is not a good question. This demotivate people. But anyway, I will. The reason my brother-in-law Hafiz Irfan always says, no para is difficult. No para is difficult. What happens is, we will answer that question inshallah in the best way that we can. But the reason we shouldn't answer this question is because when a person who's doing Hifz al-Quran, when they reach that juz, they have it at the back of their mind. I'll be really honest with you, Hafiz.
Yes.
So when everyone used to tell me about 19th juz, and they say, oh, it's a very difficult juz, I'm thinking, oh my God, it's very difficult as it is. And when this juz, 19th juz comes, I'm in big trouble. And they used to talk about 25th juz. Yeah, they were like, they were just scaring me about this 19th juz, and then Surah Safat and 25th juz. I'm thinking, oh, what are these juz? What does it consist of? Now, when I got to these juz, it's just Quran, mashallah. It's just like the other paras. There's no huge difference. It's the mentality that people have. So, yes, I will answer one more time without answering in its totality. You have Surah Safat, which is a difficult surah. You have 19th juz is a bit difficult because there's a lot of kadhabat, so many, and there's one kadhaba. So it gets a bit difficult. Then you have surah, you have the 25th juz, tricky. You have surah اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. You get a bit confused in the last verses, as every last word of the sentence consists of a ra. Every single mustaqir, yes. القمر, for example, yes. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر وإن يروا آية يعرض ويقول سحر مستمر, and it continues. So that's a very difficult, it's a very tricky surah. Surah Rahman, you have to keep going over it, and many other surahs. You have to just make sure you go over these surahs and you learn it as best as you can. But don't think like that. Yes, these are hard surahs, but believe me, don't have that in your mind, that this para is this juz is hard, this juz is hard. Yes, it is a good question, and you should be mentally prepared. However, if someone is getting too much into this and becoming mentally getting prepared, then that might make it quite difficult when he reaches the juz. For example, 19th juz, because he knows this is a difficult juz. So try to learn all the juz. Don't think like that, and keep going, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Any tips for making your revision perfect?
Ooh. So That first, there's two types of people. You should be answering this, Hafizah.
No, you're the guest. Go on.
Then you give your tips. So then this is Ramadan. This is not a bayan. We're supposed to have a conversation.
Okay.
So there's two types. There's two things you have to understand. Number one is a Hafiz student, and then one person who has finished Hifz al-Quran. So first of all, a person who is Hafiz, who is committing the memory, he's committing the Quran to memory. He's in the class, and he's in the process of becoming a Hafiz al-Quran. That person, he needs to ensure he learns his door properly. Now, unfortunately, in the day and age that we live in, madrasa, when the students go to madrasa, first of all, they learn two less. They learn one quarter. Now, even that quarter has become a new fashion. It's this new fashion, that you have the Gucci, you have the Nike, you have the Armani. There's this new fashion now. The new fashion is 10 mistakes, 15 mistakes, and you know what? Guess what? That's actually good. That's good. They're like, wow, you smashed it. And you're thinking, what? Like, your teacher said that's good. Yeah, the other boys get 50 mistakes. But the teacher just wants them to finish quickly. So there's no pressure from the parents. So anyway, back to the topic. If someone is in half his class, he should learn his door properly. And how does he learn? Look, if he knows the quarter well, then he will learn the full quarter. But if he does not know the full quarter and he is actually really bad, he's actually kacha, he's very poor, then what he will do is he will learn ruku' by ruku'. So what people do is they start from the beginning of the quarter and they finish the quarter. Now, that way he won't learn the mistakes. If it's really, really bad, it's never too late, first of all. Learn ruku' by ruku'. If you can, make someone listen to you, that one ruku'. Make someone listen to you, that one ruku', and go to the next ruku', and then go to the next ruku'. And then you have someone who has finished Hafiz al-Quran, and now he is doing door. That person should recite 3 juz a day. Minimum 3 juz a day. As Shaykh Zakaria Rahmatullah always used to say, that he should recite, a Hafiz al-Quran should recite 3 juz a day. Yes, and in 10 days you finish the whole Quran. And for someone who is not a Hafiz, he should do 1 juz a day. But let's say someone can't do 3 juz. Not everyone has the capacity of reciting 3 juz. Then no problem. He should recite 2 juz. Yes? Let's say someone can't do 2 juz now. Then he should do 1 juz. Someone can't do 1 juz. Then he should do half a juz. Let's say he can't even do half a juz. Then he should do 1 quarter. Now, it doesn't mean, but it doesn't stop there. Okay, I've done my quarter now. MashaAllah, barakallah feek. No. He does the 1 quarter, but he will recite the quarter minimum for 12 times. What did I say, Hafiz Nadeer?
12 times.
12 times. That will equal to 3 juz. Yes? So he will recite that without being lazy, without getting lazy and not accomplishing this task, completing this task of 12 times a day. Yes, you start in the morning, and whatever happens before you go sleep, you have to recite this 1 quarter 12 times. Inshallah, it will become really strong. Maybe not the first time, but as the years go past, you'll do one completion of the Quran, second completion, third completion. You'll get stronger, and that way you can move on to half, because the aim is for you to reach 3 juz. The aim is for you to reach 3 juz, and that is the best way to do it, to read 3 juz a day, and you get used to it. Many of our teachers, they read half the Quran, they read 20 juz a day. They're used to it. When they're driving, every time they drive, they read 1 juz. So that's what we should do, but we have to reach that. And even I myself, I'm going to be really honest with you, I'm not the most solid Hafiz in the world, but I always make dua that yes, I want to become like that. That's my aim, that's my goal, that I want to reach 3, 4, 5 a day. How will that happen? I will stick to that quarter, I will stick to that half a juz. I will stick to whatever I can, and inshallah ta'ala I will move on as much as I can, go to the half juz, go to 1 juz, 2 juz, 3 juz, even 10 juz, inshallah ta'ala. What are your tips?
Yeah, to add to that, Monasab, I think sometimes you just got to stop thinking and just sit down and read. You just have to sit down and read. So for example, you can do 5 sides after every salah. So after Fajr, 5 sides. Because 1 juz, how many sides is there? It's roughly 20, isn't it? 20, 25.
No, it depends what side. Is it? Are you talking about 15 line or
13 line?
13 line? There's 28, then 26 minimum.
Okay, so if you do 5 slides after every salah, that adds up, right, to 1 juz. So that's your 1 juz a day. Or you can sit after Fajr, your mind's fresh at Fajr time. Mufti Amin at Darul Bari, he used to advise us to do 10 juz a day. 1 juz before salah and another juz after salah. So 5 salahs, 2 juz each. Yeah. So yeah, you just got to sit down and read. What was Hafiz Ali's routine? Many have spoken about the benefits, but nobody has said about his routine. Oh,
question for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, Hafiz Ali used to just, I think 5 juz. Any Hafiz Ali students are watching, I think he used to recommend 5 juz a day. But I remember he used to tell me to sit one day and recite the whole Quran. I mean,
wow,
that's subhanAllah. I can't do that. That's just, because remember when you said Maulana al-Haqtab, your teacher, that a true Hafiz is that one who can recite the whole Quran in one go, in one sitting.
Yes, that's right.
So I think that should be our aim, inshallah, for everyone that's Hafiz, inshallah. But yeah, our Ustad used to recommend five juz a day. Yeah.
No, but what was his routine? The question was, everyone's heard of Hafiz Ali. They've heard of his techniques, and they've heard of his the way he used to teach. How is it? What's the word? What was the routine of his class that makes the Hafiz so strong? And before you answer that, my teacher, Sheikh Ebrahim, always says that when you are in Taraweeh and you don't even know the student, but you're up north somewhere, Bolton, and you're listening to the Hafiz, you can automatically tell that this is a Hafiz Ali student. This is what Sheikh Ebrahim said. I've heard this from my own ears, that you can tell that this is a Hafiz Ali student. So what is it though? What is so, what is it with Hafiz Ali that makes it so? And he's been doing it as far, is it from the 80s?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow.
I believe so, yeah.
Is he still in Darul Bari?
I think so, yeah. He is.
Wow, that's amazing. May Allah bless him. The amount of reward he's going to get, seriously, is on a different level. So, but from the 80s he's been doing this, but he has a technique, he has a routine. So if you can actually share that with us, I'm a Hifz teacher myself. I've been teaching for so many years, so we can actually implement those nice techniques. The way he used to teach, and how he used to make you listen to Door and your revision and Sabak. What are his rulings? If you can share that with us, and maybe we can, those who are teachers, we can implement that, but also the students can benefit from that.
Yeah, so classes start at 9 o'clock. Ustad expected us to be in class at 8:30. 8:30, he'll only give us about half an hour to go over our Sabak.
So basically, the first point would be for everyone that they should come early to class, right?
Yes.
Number one, come early to class, unless there's a reason, because we're in London, or if you're not in a madrasa, okay, that's fine, because you might go university or college, but that's fine. But generally, you should come early, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first. Okay.
So yeah, we just get half an hour. 9 o'clock, we all used to line up together in one row, and Ustad used to just tap the table like this. Next student. So we knew it's our turn. And Ustad only used to allow 1 or 2 mistakes. 2 mistakes, and he'll kick you out. That was his rule. Yeah. And then once we done our Sabak, and Sabak was quite lenient, to be fair, which is quite shocking. But it has to be perfect. Has to be perfect. So after you do your Sabak, 1 side, 2 sides, up to you, you go back and you start your Sabak Para. Your Sabak Para is basically 5 to 6 sides before your Sabak. So whatever you read before, you cover that. Plus your Sabak for today. So yeah. So he used to give us around up to 11 o'clock to learn that and to read to him. So we used to go over, read that Sabak Para to him. He didn't used to listen to all of it. He used to assign us partners after. So for example, he used to call one of my classmates, I'll come over here, listen to him the rest of the juz. And then once I finish with Talha, I'll go back to my feet and learn my door, which is revision, what has been allocated to me. So that could be the first juz, second juz, juz 30, any of them. And Ustad used to give us until 2 or 3 o'clock after lunch to say it. And then we go again to say our juz, and then like recite probably half the student, and then another student will come and listen to the rest. And that remaining time we have, we can either learn our new subject for tomorrow or our door or anything. That was the kind of the respect.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. That's good. So the one point that I actually take from there, and for everyone to implement, is the sabak should be solid. Even students, they come and they read to us, they get too many mistakes, and when we explain, sometimes they don't understand or they don't implement what we say. Sabak is very important. When someone, sabak is what you've just learned, it's fresh. It's like I always explain to my students, it's just come from the oven. It's just come out of the oven. Now you have to preserve it, put some nice icing on it. Now if in the oven, imagine a cake coming out from the oven, the ingredients haven't been put in properly, and there's too much sugar, or there's too less dough, there's too less flour, and too less what's it called? There's less what's the word? There's less butter, for example. Then that cake won't come out. That cake's gonna come out. It's not gonna be nice. Yeah, not nice. Yeah, not nice. So yeah, so when the cake comes out, it's not going to be the best way you can. Before you can even put icing on it, I always explain to my students like this: when it comes out the oven, when you give me sabak, it has to be on point. It has to be proper. And actually, there are some students who read really good. What that does, that will ensure that your sabak door that you're going to read now, which is locally they do 6 sides, but in Darul Uloom when I was studying, we had to do 15 sides. So that was our sabak door, our sabak para. So that way your sabak door will go really good. How will it go good? If your sabak's good, because sabak door comprises of what? Sabaks. And what does door comprise of? Sabak doors. Loads of sabak doors added together, it comprises of, and it makes up what? Door. It makes up the full revision. Now when you have a kacha, so many mistakes in your sabak, how will you be able to read sabak door? It'll be very difficult. So that's why the point you made was really nice. How is Ali only allowed 1 or 2? I was told something else. I was told he doesn't allow any mistakes. No, and only at times.
When I joined, I don't think he was as that strict. I think maybe in the 80s, 90s, he was on it.
Okay.
Like no mistakes. But now he's kind of lenient now. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. The next question I have, Maulana, would you recommend a Darul Uloom, or would you recommend someone to stay local?
Depends on the person. So obviously, if I advise someone to go to a Darul Uloom, and he goes there and he does not like the atmosphere, just generally, or he's not comfortable in the class, that might totally demotivate him, and he might not do Hifz at all. So the goal over here is not Darul Uloom. The goal is actually Hifz al-Quran. So I think it depends on the individual. Sometimes you have to speak to certain individuals and ask them the way they think, the way they behave, the way they live, because if they are so at times they're very dependent on certain individuals. Now if you put them in a Darul Uloom, they'll find it really hard. Let alone the Hafiz class, they're going to find Darul Uloom, the living hard. So I think that depends individually, depends on each individual, and you will have to just talk to this person or try to figure out how this person is, and then make that judgment. But Darul Uloom is good. But just to finish off, in general, it is good. Why? Because there's no distractions. That's if you go there and you don't mess about. Some boys go there, they mess about, they don't become Hafiz, they chill out. But if you go there and you behave, and you stick to your studies, and you stick to your Hafiz, and that's what you're going for. You're spending so much money in Darul Uloom, and you have your food, you have your dinner, you have your lunch, you have your breakfast, you have your tea, and then you study. You wake up in the morning early. Alhamdulillah, I used to wake up really early in the morning. And this is not to show off or to boast. I'm just trying to motivate people. I always tell my students this: wake up in the morning early. I used to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. Me and my friend Nasiruddin from Bolton, we both used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m. And we used to go sleep approximately 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Because the supervisor would allow Hafiz Ali's class, but also myself. He would let me read until whenever I want. Because I done my Hafiz after I had graduated, so he let me do and I was on my own. He didn't mind. So Yes, so if someone does go Darul Ulum, because there's no or less distractions, then you will find it easier. You are in the environment. So don't get me wrong, Darul Ulum is very good. If you go there, there is an environment, the Hifz, there's a very nice environment of Hifz al-Quran, many classes, approximately 15 classes minimum. I think it could be even more. So this will encourage him. There's other boys learning there. When you're at locally, the disadvantage is that you learn your sabak at home. Whereas if you are in a Darul Ulum or an institution, any institution, you are learning with other students, and that just creates a bit of motivation, encouragement in the person to learn more. Samjha, is understood? Is
Yes,
everything
understood.
or am I going
Everything's...
too deep for you? Is all right?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Cool. That's cool. All right.
How much of the influence was Sheikh Abdurrahim bin Badasah? I know you have a very close relationship with him.
Oh, don't. I need a very long time for that. So the main thing was I actually heard of him before I went to Darul Ulum. So when I started in my first year, I used to follow him around. I didn't want to speak to him or anything. I just wanted to be with him, relax with him, chill with him. Before Darul Ulum, I used to go to his lectures in my teens. I was very small. I'm still young. I'm no senior. And he's mentioned Sheikh Ebrahim. I am no Sheikh. You understand? I am no Sheikh. I'm Ustad. I teach students. I am no Sheikh. That's a very big title to give to someone. May Allah give us tawfiq to do as much as we can. May Allah accept what we are doing. So before that, and I knew Sheikh Abdurrahim, and I said, people told me that there will be Sheikh Abdurrahim. I said, yeah, wow. So Alhamdulillah, also at the same time, he was known for his Hifz al-Quran, and he's still known for his Hifz al-Quran, and may Allah save him from nazar, may Allah save him from the evil eye. But Sheikh Abdurrahim knows his Quran very well, cover to cover. He's not one of those Hafiz where he does Dur. In fact, I am not exaggerating. I think he doesn't do Dur anymore. He doesn't revise anymore. And if you tell him to read 19 juz, he'll read on the spot. So right now he finished his khatam with his son, only 2 of them, in 20 days. He done his khatam in 20 days, and then he done a second khatam within the last 10 days. So subhanAllah, Sheikh Abdurrahim is very pakka when it comes to that. So 2 things motivated me. One was his bayan perspective, his speeches, which I really like. I used to actually take his notes down, which I still do. I'll be very honest with you. I take his notes down, and I do his style of bayan. I think it's a very nice way to do bayan, a bayan with ease. People understand, simple, at the time, not too rough, keeping it rough. Very nice and smooth. And at the same time, he's known for his Quran. So you get 2 in 1. And mashallah, that motivated me. And I always make this dua, and I'm requesting people to make this dua, that we should become Hafiz, make dua that Ya Allah, make me Hafiz like Sheikh Abdurrahim. That is the dua to make. That Ya Allah, make me like it's Ramadan. Ya Allah, make me like Sheikh Abdurrahim, Hafiz like Sheikh Abdurrahim, where cover to cover. There's many other things I can say, but inshallah, hopefully another time we can discuss that.
Inshallah. Okay, Mullah, did you ever have moments where you wanted to give up?
Of course, many times. Initially when I was in my teens, I didn't, to be honest, there was many, I wouldn't even say moments, I would say I wanted to leave. But that is the shaitan, it's clear. Many of my students want to leave. There's some students, I don't let them leave. They have a lot of love for me, mashallah. I said, you're not leaving. They've done 12, 13, 14, 15 juz and they want to leave. So similarly with me, even in Darul Ulum, I did want to, there was some really difficult times, very difficult times. Certain juz, I just couldn't learn them. It was very difficult. But I stuck to it. I was firm, steadfast. I tried my best. I made my dua. And alhamdulillah, I've done as much as I can. I've done as best as I can. Alhamdulillah, Allah accepted my dua and Allah made it easy for me.
Alhamdulillah. So what advice would you give to anyone who's like, they're almost close to giving up? Like, what advice would you give?
First, but look at the reason why you are giving up first. What is your reason? That is the first thing I always ask my students. Why are you giving up? And then we can take it from there. If it's difficult, then why try to learn less? Maybe it's because you're thinking, like we mentioned before, that you're thinking of you're comparing yourself to other people, that they have done it in a certain time, and I'm taking too long. This might be the reason, and that should be taken out of our minds. That okay, some people they do it in 2 years, 3 years. This is what motivates people, and this is what makes people takes their mind away from it. If someone does this, then obviously he will be he will try to give up, or he'll think of giving up. So stay strong, learn the sabak, and like I said from the beginning, to save you even from having these thoughts of giving up, believe me, take this huge advice. From the when you first start your hifz or your initial stages, learn your sabak really well. Learn your sabak, your fresh sabak really well. That will help you for the rest, and you won't give up. Giving up always happens generally when you're finding it. It's not when you have done. Generally, tell me, Hafiz, you know, if someone has done 15 juz, someone has done 15 juz, he knows his sabak, he knows his sabak door, he knows his door really well. Would he give up?
No.
He wouldn't give up. I would understand why, unless illa mashallah, it's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But other than that, I don't really see someone giving up. If someone done 20 juz, 15 juz, even 10 juz, when do they start giving up? Not when they can't learn sabak, because that they're in Hafiz class because they're learning sabak anyway. It's when a person is finding their door hard, they are generally finding their revision hard because they have 10 juz to maintain now. Now that can be avoided by you learning your sabak properly. Your initial fresh sabak, learn that properly. And then your sabak door will be good and your door will be good. This won't come in your mind, I guarantee you. But as long as you learn your sabak really, 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 really well. I mean even more strict than Hafiz Ali. I mean solid. And I mean when you read to your teacher, it's as if you're reading revision. Only then you won't give up, inshallah. There will be no giving up. Inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Do you know anyone in Darul Uloom Blackburn, or do you recommend it?
Darul Uloom Blackburn is a very good Darul. There's a few Darulums. If you're referring to Moshkri, it's a very good Darul. Mufti Abdul Samad's Darul, who is also the classmate of Sheikh Abdul Rahim, and he's a very big Mufti as well. He has a very good system in that Darul Uloom, very strict Darul Uloom, where you do good Hafiz. You do become good Hafiz there. Like I said, the likes of Sheikh Abdul Rahim, if they were classmates, and they were very close classmates, in fact, they would do their door together, and they would do Hifz of their even Hadith together. So this will be Darul Uloom. Blackburn is very good. I know a few students that went there. Some of my classmates who graduated with me in Darul Uloom Bari, they were from Darul Uloom Blackburn initially, and then they moved to Darul Uloom Bari. I have a few cousins. I think one cousin. Sorry, not a few. Sorry, one cousin. He's actually in Darul Uloom Blackburn as well, doing alim class. He's doing alim class. He finishes Hafiz al-Quran locally. He's from South Hill. His name is Abdullah. So Abdullah Lunat, and he is in at the moment in Blackburn Darul Uloom Moshkri, and he is doing his alim course. May Allah bless all of them, inshallah.
Ameen. Okay, Murasab, you're Hafiz now, mashallah. So how much has that helped in your day-to-day life?
Alhamdulillah, that is another question. It needs a lot of time. What it does, it helps, because when you're Hafiz al-Quran, there's many things you have to remember now. You have to keep in mind that you are now a walking, talking Quran. People look at you. When someone wants to see the Quran, they will look at you as well. Not in its totality, but people will look at you. They will think, look, he knows the Quran, he should act upon it. He's not angel. People shouldn't think we are angels, but they should be behaving properly. So that makes us behave. That we have the Quran, Allah has blessed us, we should behave at least. Yes, the things that Allah has told us to do, Allah has told us to implement, we should implement those things. Those things which Allah has told us to abstain from, it makes us abstain, or as much as we can. We are all sinners, but as much as we can, we know that Allah has blessed us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the Quran. So we should do as much as we can to stay away from the vices of the community, the evil vices. And at the same time, it makes us connected to the Quran. That's one thing. Because you know, today is the 29th of Ramadan, and for some 28th of Ramadan. Tomorrow, possibly, tonight possibly could be the last night. Today could be the last day, sorry. Tomorrow could be Eid. Now, unfortunately, some people, the Quran will close. It will go into the Quran. It will be wrapped up in a nice lifafa, mashallah, nice lifafa, and it will be put on the shelf. At times, the shelf is for display, so everyone can see the nice Qurans, mashallah. It will be covered with dust. And mashallah, 2021 comes, the Quran will reopen. The Quran is not for that. One of the meanings of Quran from qara'a means to read, and it also means a book which is read constantly, continuously. So one thing that the Hafiz has done to me for sure has made me connected to the Quran. That is one thing. Leave everything else for now. Connect it to the Quran. And we can go on for hours upon hours. And the time will be free for hours and you will never invite me again. Brother Sayyid will never invite me again. This brother never stopped on time. So we can go on the blessings of the Quran, the rewards of the Quran, in the Quran and in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. That a person who gets connected to the Quran. So it's our aim to be connected to the Quran. But one of the ways to be connected is Hafid. Because you know that you have to do your door. You have to revise. And you will revise every day and you will have a connection with the Quran. So this is one thing that helped me in life and also to teach as well. If I didn't become Hafiz al-Quran, maybe I will not go into teaching the Quran. Maybe other things, but not Quran. But alhamdulillah, it's made me connected to the Hafiz class as well, which is so nice. It makes you connected to students. You have an opportunity to teach other Hafiz al-Quran. To teach Hafiz al-Quran and make them Hafiz, you get the reward. So many benefits. Yeah, these are benefits, mashallah.
Yeah. Do you know the other riwayat of the Quran? If not, do you intend to?
Inshallah, in Alim class we did study we were given some opportunities to do some qira'ah in class. However, I did not do the full qari. They call it half qari. Half qari. That's why in 4th year they give you also a turban of completing the 3 years of your tajweed and your qari class. But that's half the qari class. 2 or 3 have done with Qari Zakir and Qari Shu'ayy, Qari Ismail and Darul Bari. Inshallah, if Allah gives me the will, I will go into that. Taking out some of my busy time and going into that, trying to do some Qari, inshallah. I might come to you actually, Hafz.
One more question, Mullah Sab, and we'll wrap things up.
Yeah.
Any advice for those who want to pursue a Hifz course in the future?
Start now, don't delay. Don't delay. Yes, don't try to do as soon as possible, and make intention from now. First, make intention, number 1. If you make intention, Allah will make it easy for you, and you'll get the reward. Even if death is written for you, Allah will give you the reward of becoming Hafiz because of the intention. And number 2, try not to delay. Try not to delay. Don't say, oh, I'll do it in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Chalo, I'll do it next week. No, start now. Say Bismillah and start. Get a nice teacher. Get a good teacher. Someone you're comfortable with as well. Yes, if you like a youngster, go for a youngster, for a young teacher. Someone you are comfortable with. Respect the teacher. If you respect the teacher, when we were in Darul Ulum, we used to respect our teachers. And I still do. I still remember when I went for Hajj, I was at the airport. And I bring my teacher, Mawlana Nur Haq. He didn't even recognize me. I said, this is Ebrahim speaking from, oh, mashallah, Mawlana Sab, how are you? I said, look, Hazrat, I don't want to disturb you. I'm in Heathrow, I'm going for Hajj, please remember. And he got so happy I remembered him. So don't forget your teachers, don't forget your teacher. Remember him, respect him in every second of your life. Start your Hafiz, work hard, and inshallah, Allah will make you Hafiz, inshallah. And make dua, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, brothers and sisters, we are going to wrap things up now. I'm going to request Mawlana Sab to close the program with a dua. If you'd like to support the cause or donate, please go to our website, alwaqi'ah.co.uk/donate. It's on the bottom of the screen now. I want to say Jazakallah khair for Mawlana Ibrahim Surti for joining us. We really do appreciate you giving us your time.
Jazakallah khair to you for inviting me and making me be part of this, giving me the opportunity for this. Jazakumullah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fi. And Jazakallah khair to the brothers and sisters who have come to watch today's program. I'm going to request Mawlana Sab to close the program with a dua. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma anta as-salam wa minka as-salam. Tabarak ya dhal jalali wal ikram. اللهم ربنا أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. اللهم ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا. ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم ربنا اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا رب.